Hello. Welcome, everyone. It's episode 78. It's episode 78 of the Dante Elephante podcast. We are back. I hope everyone enjoyed last week's episode with Fontaine. I am on tour. Let's just get into it. Dante Elephante is about to go on tour. It's March 16th. West Coast Spring 2022. March through April. It's Portland. March 16th, Portland, Oregon, Mississippi Studios. March 19th, Bellingham, Washington, The Shakedown. March 20th, Seattle, Washington, at the Crocodile. I played there before a few years ago with a canceled band, but now I'm playing there by myself, and we'll see how it goes. Spokane, we're back in Spokane at the Lucky You Lounge. If you were one of the few people who are at the Lucky You Lounge, come back again and be one of the few people there. March 23rd, Boise, Idaho, Tree Fort. I love Tree Fort. This is one of my favorite festivals in all of the United States. It is amazing. We're playing there March 23rd. That's a Wednesday. We are kicking off the festival. That is day one. March 24th, Ketchum, Idaho at Argios. I don't know how to say that one, but I've never been to Ketchum, Idaho. Missoula, Montana at Zach Showroom. Butte, Montana at the Covalite Lounge. Salt Lake City at Loading Dock. Chico, California, Argus. San Francisco, Milk Bar. And Santa Ana at La Santa. Go get tickets at danteelefante.com/tour. I'll put the link in the bio, and if you're just listening, you know where to go. danteelefante.com/tour. This episode was recorded in Chicago when we went and recorded our audio tree, which comes out this Thursday, February 10th. Check out the audio tree. I'm going to be promoting that a lot on Thursday and leading up to it, but I'm very excited. Baby's first audio tree, and this was recorded the day before. Yes, we had played. This is our day off. We had a random day off, but we played at the venue at Chuba's, and Jacob opened for us. And at that show, I was like, "Yo, man, come by our Airbnb tomorrow. Let's do a podcast." And he came by, and it was really great. I just woke. I was so tired. I drank a little bit too much the night before, and I was a little I had a headache. I didn't feel great. I wasn't hungover, but I didn't feel awesome. And it was really great to talk to him. I can't remember how early it was, but it was like pretty early. And then it was also, I'm on California time. I don't know. My voice sounds like shit this whole episode, but I say that because it was fun. We had a good time. And this is like kind of the idea, like the last two episodes, Fontaine, and now Jacob Sigman, was like the idea. This was like the whole idea. I would go on tour, and then I'll do podcasts on the road, which is very hard to organize, but like it's so fun, and it's so like, yeah, this is what I wanted to do. This was the whole point of this. I would do podcasts while I'm home, and I have been doing a bunch on Zoom. I've been doing so many podcasts lately. I have like been doing a lot of work. I have an interview tomorrow and another interview on Thursday. So we're putting in the work. We are staying consistent, and it's really fun. I am doing them on Zoom again, so don't worry. Zoom episodes are coming, and it might take a little bit more editing to edit out some of those awkward moments. It's just the natural awkward pausing of a Zoom conversation. It's not even that the conversations are awkward. It's just like the technology has made it awkward. But it was really great. The story behind Jacob Sigman is that, like, I talk a lot about TikTok on this podcast and how great it is if you're an artist to be able to put your songs on there and just immediately get like reactions and love and like get more reach than you deserve. It's very true. It's like it's you could post something on TikTok and it can absolutely blow up, and it makes no sense, and there's some drawbacks to that too. Like, people who don't know who the hell I am they're just like, who's this fat guy on my fucking TikTok page who trying to live his dreams? Fuck him. Let's treat him poorly. Let's see if we can make him quit playing music. Like, that's basically what people are trying to do, right? When you're an angry person on the internet, yeah, you're just trying to make me feel bad. So I quit, and I can be just as miserable as you are. But there's no quit There's no quitting me. Let's see. Jacob Sigman. I started seeing his TikToks pop up, and he had these really funny songs. I can hit a clip, Rick Glassman style. And now he's on the podcast. It's really crazy to see the people who you connect with on TikTok, which is different, even like YouTube, very different. Even like in general podcasting, it's crazy to meet people, who do music, who are doing this thing, but like on different platforms. 'Cause usually, most of the time, you just meet people on Instagram, and I think it's cool. I think it's cool. There's different vibes. There's different families on different platforms. But it was weird. I wouldn't call him a TikTok artist, but he's definitely doing really well over there on that platform. And yeah, he's really great. Let's keep this one nice and short. We have merch. Go to Hello Merch and buy Dante Elephante merch. We got some shirts. We got the shirts. We have a second pressing of mid-century modern romance. I think Born Losers just sold out already, and but we have, for the very first time, Rare Attractions. If you're a fan of Call Me on the Phone, this is going to be the first time it's on vinyl. This is very exciting. That's coming out very soon. I don't know what the release date is, but you can pre-order it now. Go pre-order mid-century modern romance for the very first time. The very first time. I didn't, we don't know. Either way, it's the very first time, and I hope you guys go and grab it and support it and listen. And thank you so much for listening. It's episode 78 with Jacob Sigman. All links are in the bio. Go to bornlosers.com, bornlosersrecords.com to buy and pre-order my music. I'll see you guys on the road. When I want you. I think the last piece of the puzzle is to figure out how can I travel with tiny mic stands.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the last bit.
A little like collapsible thing.
Those bass drum mic stands.
Oh, yeah. That would work.
Something like that. That's like the last bit I'm working on.
Yeah. Yeah, yep.
Damn.
There's always another piece of gear,
It never fucking ends.
Yeah.
Dude. The gear never ends.
Yeah, because once you get the mic, then you got to get the stand for the mic. Then you got to get the case for the stand.
Yeah.
And you got to get the wheels for the case.
Oh, my God. Because I don't want to carry anything. I'm done carrying stuff.
No, yeah. I was so pumped that there was like a backline last night. I was like, wait, I don't have to like load out like 6 trips in the freezing cold.
Dude, the Nord was not backlined last night. That was my keyboard.
That was your keyboard?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you for letting me use it.
Well,
damn.
We were like, is he using the Nord? Oh, totally fine, I guess. Yeah, no, it wasn't. That part wasn't backlined. Yeah.
What? I thought it was supposed to be though. Well,
no, I don't know. Yeah, man, these backline shows are so weird, man. It's just like you show up and you're like, oh, this is a weird kit. I guess we'll have to use it. Like, there's no other option but to use it at this point.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, we're rolling. We'll just get into it, dude. Jacob Sigman, thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for hanging out. Last night was crazy. We played at Shuba's last night. Have you played that venue before?
I did once this fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I love that spot. It's a really cool spot.
Oh, it's super cool. Yeah, it's great. It's
what
like,
about you?
First time ever playing there. It's one of those venues I've always heard about. When you're in California, you hear about these venues. Hey, someone's playing this place.
Yeah.
And first time I'd ever been there, and I was like, whoa, it's like a weird theater, but it's not a theater.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I don't even know what you call it. But the bar looks really cool. And
yeah. It's like, I feel like it's kind of a deceptively, like it looks bigger than it is, Like when there's people in there, it feels full.
Yeah.
But like when there's not people in there, I'm like, oh God, there's a huge room.
That's like, that's like the perfect venue.
Yeah, totally.
Is that it's like, there's 50 people here, even though there was more than 50 people last night. But like, it felt great.
Yeah.
Like, it felt really good.
Yep.
I think the final count was like 116. I was like, I'll take that.
Yeah.
That's fucking great for a snowy Chicago, freezing Chicago.
Yeah, man.
Dude, so you're originally from Detroit?
I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. Yeah. So I grew up in Toledo, and then I went to college in Ann Arbor, and then I moved to Detroit in 2017.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Detroit is a really cool city. it's like, you know, there's bits that are being developed, and then there's also bits of like what it was.
Yeah.
It's I don't know why'd you pick Detroit? How'd you end up in Detroit?
Well, it was kind of like a product of circumstance. Like, it was close.
Yeah.
It was cheap. I knew people there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go here. I'm going to figure my shit out and then decide where I want to go next. Yeah. But, you know, the longer I stayed, the more I liked it, and the more I feel like just, you know, when you live in a place, you start to meet the people who are doing things similar to you. And there's a really great artist community there, and there's a lot of exciting stuff happening. And then because of COVID, I was like, well, I'm not moving, you know, anytime in the near future. Yeah. So now I've been there for, my plan was like to be there for 1 or 2 years. Now it's been like 4. And there's still part of me that wants to like go elsewhere, but for now, I mean, I love it. It's a special place, and like you said, there's like so much character from its past that's still there. There's a lot of new people, but there's a lot of people that have been just living there their whole lives. Yeah. And they're just like so friendly and so interesting, so well dressed. Yeah, you know, like,
everyone looks so cool in Detroit, man.
Straight up,
man. Yeah, I went to the Motown Museum the first time. Man. I was like, dude, yes, I'm in Detroit. I gotta go to Motown, and it was so tight to just see like Motown untouched.
Right.
Meanwhile, the rest of the neighborhood's like so different. Like,
right.
But that little house, not a little house, pretty big house, is untouched, and it's awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, it's kind of cool because, like, at the end of the day, Motown, it was essentially a home studio.
Totally.
You know? Mm-hmm. And, like, now everybody's got a home studio. Everybody's got their own little Motown.
Dude, it's changed so much. Like, I don't know. How old are you?
27.
Yeah, we're not too far off. I'm 31, and I just remember like in the mid 2000s when I first started playing music, it was like really hard to record yourself. Like,
oh, dude, yeah.
There were still echoes of the past of like tape cassettes. Like my cousin had a tape cassette, and then we downloaded like a program called Cool Edit Pro. Mm-hmm. And that was like kind of the beginning of it, but it was really hard, and the computer couldn't handle it. It was like freaking out. Like,
yep. Oh man, yeah. I don't miss those days. I feel like something clicked and everyone's like, oh yeah, like now we all have this software. Mm-hmm. We all have these plugins, you know?
Yeah, once GarageBand came out, I guess. That made it really easy to use.
Yeah. What DAW do you use?
GarageBand.
GarageBand? Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, GarageBand, basically.
Dude, that's badass.
I like Logic a lot. I downloaded Premiere in the pandemic. I was like, I'm going to teach myself Premiere. I talk about this all the time on the fucking podcast, but I downloaded Premiere and had Pro Tools, and I couldn't fucking use it. I was like, dude, Pro Tools fucking sucks.
Yeah, I mean...
What are you using?
I'm using Ableton, mostly.
Yeah, a lot of people use Ableton.
Yeah, I mean, I like it just because it's like very intuitive to work on the sample level. Like, you can fuck with your sounds pretty easily before... you put them in the arrangement. So I like that about it. But I've kind of dabbled in all of them. Like, I started off using Pro Tools, and that was definitely a learning experience. I mean, it's cool for what it is, but like, it just depends. Like, I feel like it doesn't really matter what DAW you use. What matters is just being comfortable with it, being fast with it. Like,
fast is the key word. How to know all the shortcuts and just fucking work it. Yeah.
Because like when you have an idea, you like can't let it get away. You can't like get lost in like, okay, what is crossfade again? Like,
yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, once you learn the shortcuts, whatever's the fastest for you. Like, when you know you're making your TikToks, like, and you're making your music. Mm-hmm. I guess I have a lot of questions about that. Like, are they the same thing? Are the songs you're posting on TikTok your songs?
Oh,
let me go close.
The door just opened. Very spooky.
Like, I hope you know what I mean. Like the stuff that you put on TikTok, did that start off as like, I'm gonna write an honest song, and then and the lyrics end up being so funny, you're like, fuck it, let's put this on TikTok? Or what's the process like?
Well, usually it's like, for TikTok, it's like, at least now, it's like, okay, what is happening in the world that's relevant? that I can write a song about. So like, if there's like some sort of like some moment in pop culture that everybody's talking about, or if it's like a holiday, or just like, or it's not always that. Sometimes it's like, oh, this is a funny idea. But for TikTok, it usually starts with something that I think is funny. Like, I feel like TikTok, it has like a certain tone to it. There's like kind of like an unhinged, sarcastic, kind of like fuck everything tone. And like, I feel like, you know, people's attention spans are super short, so it's like little things. So yeah, usually I'm just thinking like, what is a relevant thing that I can write about right now, and like, how can I put my spin on it? And then what sometimes happens is like, if the song feels like not so specific to a certain moment that it could be a real song, and it's well received on TikTok, then I'm usually like, okay, then let's turn it into a full song. And that's happened twice. That was the genesis of the last 2 singles I put out.
Yeah.
And it's it's a different way of writing, because it's like, you write something, like you write a hook and you get like you like put it out and get some feedback on it.
Yeah, like it's like pretty immediate now. You don't have to wait like 6 months to a year. Oh, the record's done. Now I'm putting the record out. It's like you just put it out now.
Yeah. But I mean, it's definitely a different process than like, I don't know, sitting down to try to write a full song.
Yeah.
You know? Because like, I feel like when you're trying to write your own music, you want to not think about what people are going to think of it as much as possible. And you want it to be remembered. Whereas with TikTok, you're like, the only thing that matters is what people are going to think about it, and it's going to be forgotten tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. So at some point though, like, how do you feel about those songs? They are your songs. Like, they're still your songs. And it's like, there's a difference between these are my TikTok songs, but then these are my real songs. But like, at some point, they're all going to just be your real songs. Don't you think? Or like, are you writing separately in that mindset of like, these are the ones I'll put online, but these are the ones I'm holding on to for when I do the thing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's kind of separate,
Yeah.
You know, like, I've toyed around with the idea of making like an album of 30-second funny songs, but like, I don't know. Like, I don't know how I could turn like a 30-second song into Pete Davidson into a 3-minute song. If I did, it could be funny. Yeah. But I mean, like, I don't know. It's like, it's been kind of like, I feel like I kind of like tripped into doing funny songs on TikTok. Right. So I haven't really fully figured out how to fuse it all into one identity, like in a cohesive way. So for now, it's just kind of like, when I have a good idea, I'll put it on TikTok. And I like that, because it's like, when I'm writing my own music, it's like becomes so holy, you know how it is. And like, you want everything to sound right. You want to like get all the whole picture together. But with TikTok, it's like really not a big deal. I'm like, well, I'm not going to add this, like, bucket. Nobody's going to notice.
And there's a part that you should blend into your songs of that energy as well, because like, when
oh my god,
every time I've like choked a fucking song, I'm like, this has to be fucking perfect. That's when I blow it, dude.
Me too.
And then I'm like, I miss stuff because I'm like focusing on this, but like, I didn't realize that the drums weren't actually quantized correctly or something, like whatever the case may be. And I look back, I'm like, oh, I fucked up that recording, dude, because I was trying to do too much. Like,
and you know, the funny thing is, probably you're the only one that notices.
I know.
Still,
no one notices, dude.
Yeah, I go back and forth about that. I'm like, well, all that really matters is like what I think about it. So like, that's why I'm gonna spend 30 hours mixing this like vocal, or like And then I'm like, why? Because by the end of it, I'm like, okay, so I never want to hear this song again, and totally. It comes out tomorrow.
And I'm dropping it on TikTok tomorrow. Oh my god, how'd you get on? How'd you get on TikTok? Did someone tell you about it? Did you just like, oh, everyone's on this new app now, I'll just go on there? Or?
I feel like similarly to like a lot of artists, I was like, there was like a 3 to 6 month period where I'm like, yeah, I should really get on TikTok. I should really do it. And I'm like, but it was so scary to like step into something like that, and like to have that kind of instant feedback, and to like, especially, I mean, for the first, like, I didn't have a video like do any kind of numbers for like the first 4 or 5 months I was doing it. And so that was kind of like scary, but I just kind of started doing it. Like I saw other people were doing it. And I mean, during 2020, like there was, I was kind of in like I'm going to try everything mode, because there was like no shows and everything.
Yeah.
So, and that was like kind of what my plan was originally. It was like, well, I'll play these shows and that's how I'll grow, and grow my fan base. And so I was doing a bunch of different stuff. I was like doing live streaming. Then I started doing TikTok, and then I was like, once I figured out the funny side of things, I was like, this is actually kind of fun, because prior to that, I feel like I had a pretty serious, like sincere,
just playing.
I was like, these are my songs, like this is the inspiration. And then I started doing like, but I'm not really like that in real life. Like I'm probably more so like my TikTok presence than I am like my music. Like I'm a goofy person.
Right, totally.
So I really enjoyed like getting to share that side of myself, and like I saw people were responding to it, and I was like, oh shit, well, let's keep this rolling.
Totally.
You know?
Last night I noticed on stage that your on stage presence is very friendly and funny. And I was like, damn, I don't do that. I feel like when I get on stage, I try to be funny, and then I just end up getting mean. If someone fucking says, I'm like, what the fuck do you, if like anyone tries to heckle, I just get pissed. I'm like, what the fuck? We were in Eugene, and I was just like, hey, yeah, great to be in Eugene. Hey, we're playing Portland tomorrow. If any of you guys have friends in Portland, come tell them to come. And some girls like, we're in Eugene. And I yelled, you don't think I know where the fuck I am right now?
Oh my God.
She was like, and I was like, I think I just blew up on a fan for no reason. My bad. Like,
that's amazing.
I know, dude.
I never know how to handle hecklers though, because like I'm like, well, I can't like really clap back like I would love to.
I know, but no, I think your onstage presence is very fun. It's
Thanks,
friendly. Man. People like, and there's a lot of people there for you last night, and they know the songs. Like they're singing the songs back to you. I saw that.
Hell,
cool.
You too, dude.
Yeah, I know. I was like, hell yeah.
It's a really insane feeling,
It's crazy.
Because like I'm still at a place like where every time I play a show, I'm like, I don't know the fuck if people are gonna come or not. You know?
I'm still there.
Yeah,
Still do that. Yeah,
dude. And then they do, and then I'm like, oh my God, like you like this song?
Yeah.
Holy shit. So it's amazing.
The first time that ever happened to me, I was like, wait, you guys know the lyrics?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even know the lyrics. I need to remember them and do it right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great, man. So what is the next step? What's the next plan? Are you writing a record right now, or?
Yeah, I'm working on a record. I mean, I have like a ton of unreleased songs. It's just like, I guess the question is like which ones and how do they go together?
Yeah.
You know? So I'm working on like a project. It's kind of like a 2000s nostalgia vibe. A lot of like
2000s R&B or
like a Justin Timberlake, Pharrell kind of thing.
Dude, that's what Joey said. Joey was backstage. He's like, I don't want to, the vibes are giving me Justin Timberlake.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, I was like in my head, I was like, I think that's intentional. But yeah, I get and then we're all like, yeah, we get that. Also, JT is an influence.
I love JT.
Yeah.
And I guess like I really got into Pharrell.
Yeah.
You're just, I mean, as a musician, as a producer, and just like a dude, like as an entity, he's really fascinating to me. Like,
did you buy the skincare line?
I didn't. Maybe I
did.
Dude. Was it sweet?
It's sick.
Oh, man.
I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not that guy. But I'm
You're
not
that guy, pal.
So yeah, I've used it a couple times, but now it's just sitting in my bathroom, like, and every time I look, I'm like, I should use that because it does feel good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Every time I've tried a skincare routine, I break out. So I'm just like, I guess I'll just go back to not washing my face.
Oh my God. Yeah, though, that's why I trust Pharrell. I looked at his skin and he's looked the same my whole life.
Oh
and
my
I was
God,
like,
yeah.
okay.
I cannot believe how that man is not aged.
He's amazing.
Have you ever seen his interview with Rick Rubin?
Oh yeah.
Dude, that shit was like, it really changed my perspective on a lot of things. Yeah, just, I mean, I feel like there's time and time again, I hear like people that have reached a certain level, and the way that they talk about music is always about like the feeling of it. Mm-hmm. You know, they're like the kind that will close their eyes and just listen. And I don't do that enough. I get so caught up in the box that I'm not like, what does it actually sound like?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What does it feel like?
That's funny. I feel like that is a Rick Rubin thing. I also feel like I've also heard stories that's all Rick Rubin does.
Yeah.
He's just
like,
It's like, shows up at the studio. Yeah, sounds good. And then leaves. And you're like, we're paying this guy thousands of dollars to produce this. And just has his engineers doing all of it. And then he comes and has his, that's what I've heard at least. It's like a very weird working relationship with Rick Rubin.
Wow. Yeah, I can only imagine. Do you ever watch that show, Dave?
Yeah.
Like,
I haven't finished the first season yet.
Oh, yeah. Well, season 2.
Oh, it's really good.
It's really good. And there's like, they do a lot of, Rick Rubin's not in it, but like, he goes to Shangri-La Studios. It's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I feel like he's all about, I mean, I like go back and forth about like, am I super technical or am I super like vibe centered?
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it's both.
Yeah.
I think you have to have a balance of both, but I think there's like, when you can get all the BS out of the way, it really does come down to what it sounds like and feels like. And
yeah, it's like, I think that's like the two different roles, right? Like if you're on the producer side, you do want to be more vibes, and this is what I think we should do, and should be the arrangement, and then the engineering is like, those are two separate jobs,
right?
But now they're not two separate jobs. Like if you're a producer, you also have to kind of engineer. Like, and most of the producers I've worked with have always been engineers too. Like they helped us get the sounds and stuff like that. But they used to be two different jobs. Like, but the industry's changed. Yeah,
dude, that's like the crazy thing about being an independent artist in this day and age is like, this used to be like 7 different jobs. And like, you have to like totally shift your mindset, every single different thing you're doing. And it's like, man, it gets very schizophrenic sometimes.
Oh my God. Yeah. But between booking your own shows, promoting your own shows, which used to be just like flyers, I guess. Now it's social media.
Yeah.
I still don't know what was more effective. I imagine like in the 90s, you used to put out a bunch of flyers and nobody would come to this show, and you'd be like, what happened?
Yeah.
But now it's like, we posted about the show a bunch. Like, why didn't anyone come? Like, I don't know. Like, I just can't tell if it was better back then or if it's better now. Because now you could make the claim that thousands of people could see your post.
Yeah.
And
but back in the day, there wasn't shit to do.
True. There's less to do.
There's no TV, no social media, no like. Yeah. And I feel like if you go back far enough, like, the music didn't sound super good, like on your radio or whatever, on whatever you had. Like, so the best sounding music you could hear was the live music.
The live performance. Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that like headphones sound better and, whatever. Title.
Yeah, people were like, we're going to go to the symphony and hear 100 people play so that we can hear music, And we're like... Now I'm like, just listening to music on my iPhone speakers. I'm like, this is boring.
This is... Do you think like a symphony ever undersold tickets and they're just like, dude, we did all this and like no one's here? Like a band. Except they're a fucking symphony and they're like all dressed up and they're like, wow, no one came. Fuck.
Yeah, Mozart really fell off. He can't draw in Vienna anymore.
That's what I'm wondering, man. Dude,
I'm sure. I mean, but probably like how they're like probably living in towns of like 1,000 people. Like there's no way that everybody like knew what was happening.
Yeah.
If the symphony came to town, like everyone was pulling up.
Everyone was hyped.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to the Nutcracker before the pandemic.
Oh, dude, I've always wanted to go to the Nutcracker. Was it sweet?
It was fine. There wasn't that many people there. I was like, damn, y'all did all this work for like a quarter of this movie theater full right now.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. Yeah.
That's sweet, man. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's one thing about any musician is like they've played a show to know people.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, and just knowing that about like every single person that I meet, I'm like, well, at least we're cool because we both have done that. We both know what that feels like.
It's even at any level, man. Like I remember I'm friends with Jonathan Rado of Foxygen, and when I first met him, I was like, yeah, play a show the other night. Nobody was there. You probably don't know anything about that anymore. You guys are like big. And he's like, dude, we just played an empty show the other day in San Diego.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it doesn't matter.
It happens now.
Yeah.
Like, no matter how much buzz, that's all internet stuff. You still have to sell the tickets.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And people don't get that. Like, somebody will come to like a show of mine that's like super well attended and they're like, oh, like this must be so great. I'm like, dude, like literally tomorrow I'm going to play a shitty show and I just know it's going to be shitty and I'm just going to have to do it.
The worst is when your friends come to a show and they like say it. I don't want to say the town because this has happened before, but they come to the show and it's packed and it's awesome. And then we come back to that town and no one's there. And they're like, "What happened? Last time was so packed." I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah, you're like, you think I don't know that?
Yeah, like I did the same things as I did last time. I don't know why this one didn't do what that one did. It's like it's different every time. And different circumstances every time.
But at the end of the day, you just gotta play the show the best you can, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that it's good training. I don't know, in some way it feels like it's like some sort of character building exercise.
It's a rite of passage.
Yeah,
man.
totally. Because then when there's the audience is there,
you appreciate it.
Yeah, you're like, all right, I'm gonna put on a fucking show now because I want y'all to come back next time.
That's why I always think, I'm like, y'all come back now. Come on now. I did it. I did the thing. You're supposed to come back.
Yep.
And we did have that a lot last night. There's people like, "Hey, I saw you last time you were here." And blah, blah.
Oh, that's
like,
sweet.
Good.
That's great.
And you can build. And we were talking about that with our manager last night. Is that like some towns are just not like that. Seattle is really. I've had like one good show in Seattle.
Really?
Ever. It's just a really hard place to build. And like when you play Seattle, if a bunch of people show up, the next time you show up, there's nobody there. It's like it makes no sense.
Oh, really?
It's just a weird place. San Francisco feels like that too now. Like San Francisco used to be like a really cool city, and it is still a cool city, but like then it got like overpopulated by Facebook employees,
right?
And then like every show you played in SF, it was just like tech nerds who just came out to the show because that's what they all talked about The Office that day. And now it's finally getting back to where it's just locals. Last time I played, it was just local because that's who stayed in, because all my friends who worked in tech in San Francisco, they left SF, so it's just locals now. So I feel like San Francisco could be a great place to play again.
That's cool. Yeah, it's really. I wonder how like people moving during the pandemic has shifted what the live landscape looks like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know everyone who left. Like I said, example of the Bay Area, people left to Sacramento. They left to like all these like random places, not random, but like inland California, because that's where it's cheaper. And I'm assuming that's where scenes are gonna pop out now, or maybe I'm too old, but like younger people will have scenes that like I can just play shows in.
No, I mean that's like how I feel now too. Like I'll like someone will hit me up and they'll be like, "Yo, like let's do a show," and I'm like, "Okay, hell yeah!" And I'll like look and I'm like, "Huh, you're 18. I'm 10 years older than you, bro.
Yeah,
we're doing
I'm not playing your
thing.
house, dude. I can't play your house." Yeah,
I would though.
I know.
I'm 10 years older than you, but tonight we'll be making the same amount of money, which is probably like $25.
Splitting the door. Yeah.
No,
that's
but
great.
I think that's great. You know, like I think that the kids making music now, like it's so interesting and creative, all the different stuff that's happening because of the access to technology and because like there's no genre, it feels like it's like just a very inclusive time to be a musician. Like everybody's like down with everything and everybody, and it's great.
It's like we're in a part of society that's like, we've gotten away from like monoculture, which is what we grew up with, right? Like everyone saw everything. We all saw that show last night. Like that doesn't happen anymore. No one watches anything together anymore. Yeah, it's like maybe the Super Bowl, but then you talk to like a bunch of people and like football. Yeah, I don't watch football. It's like wow, it's like really you can really like watch anything you want. Yeah, at any time you want, and and it's a great time for that. But also, it's a revolving door of new content. Yeah. So when you post something and something goes viral, it's like, yeah, this is awesome. And then 2 days later, how happened? What happened?
Yeah. Like I am completely anonymous.
I am no one again. Yeah, it's great. It's awesome.
Totally.
I feel good to be somebody and nobody at the same time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. That's zen.
That's what happened, man. I had one TikTok do really well, and it got like I don't know, a lot for me, like 100,000 plays or whatever.
Hell yeah.
And it just like weirdly brings in the worst people and the best people, right? Like people are super, so like there's a moment in 2020 where TikTok was super nice and like they're trying to like, hey, let's not turn this app into like Facebook, like no bullying, and then like it just turned, and now people just bully all the fucking. Anytime I have a video do well, they're just like fat ass. It's like, all right, that's really cool, man.
Yeah.
Like, hey, fat guy, stop being so fat. Like, it's just like wow, this is really cool.
Mine are always like, hey, you got to get that mole checked out. I'm like, dude, come on. Like,
Just
really?
watch the video,
Just,
dude.
yeah, don't pay no attention to the mole.
It's like not even a big deal, and it's just like, yeah, I like TikTok, but it will invite some weird energy into your life.
Yeah. I just like, I've gotten to the point where I just don't read my comments anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, I'll read a few, but like, I think that somehow I've like I don't really scroll on TikTok, and like I just like post and then
Oh, that's good.
try to get off.
That's the healthy thing to do.
yeah. But well, I mean,
I do that with
I'm addicted
Instagram.
to Instagram though.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I
so-
do that to Instagram. I post and I leave it alone.
Yeah. That's a big goal for me this year is to like try to just control how much I spend my time on my phone, because like hours will go by and I'll be like, I don't even feel like what, where am I?
Where's my life?
Yeah. What have I become?
Dude, my girlfriend has those timers, and like her apps will shut down, but then she'll just find ways to like unlock it. What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's the point of the timer. You're supposed to put your phone away. But like I'm one to talk. But I also work. My day job is social media marketing. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like I have to be on my phone all the time. Like there's a post that's supposed to go out today. I hope it goes out today. Like I hope the fucking shitty third party scheduling thing works. You know, it just sucks. You just never have like a day. That's why I feel like you just never have a day off anymore. Like it's when you're doing social media marketing, but because there's always I have my notifications on for every app, and my phone is just blowing up constantly, and it's stressful sometimes. And then you're doing music on the side. Well,
Yeah. Which also doesn't
on the
really
side,
stop.
which is also full time,
Yeah.
like another full time job, and yeah.
Yeah, man, that's the hard thing about music is because like I don't know, like no one's really telling you when to work,
Yeah.
but like because of that, like no one really tells you when you don't need to work either.
Yeah.
You know? So like oftentimes I'll like work for a super long time and then I'll stop working and then I'll be like, should I be working right now? Like,
Yeah.
XYZ person is probably working, you know, and I feel guilty and I'm
The
like,
grind.
yeah. But then it's like when I'm grinding, I want to be chilling, and when I'm chilling, I want to be grinding.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I always get that weird inspiration, like right before I go to sleep. I should be doing something right now. It's like I should be sleeping right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when there's no way for like when I'm in like the car with my parents,
Yeah.
I'll like get all these great ideas. I'm like, okay, yeah,
do this
now I'm gonna work. Like when I'm in the car with my parents driving to fucking Columbus, Ohio.
There is something to that, though. Isn't that kind of? It's like they say when the best. You had that story, or in your song about like in the shower, writing a song in the shower. It's kind of fucked up, but that is like the only time we're not consuming like media.
Yeah.
Is in the shower, and
Yeah.
that's when we can actually think, which is
Right.
fucked up.
And you know, I've found like when you're doing some sort of menial task, like taking a shower, doing the dishes,
Yeah.
whatever, that part of your brain that like typically when I'm writing is like, no, that's not a good idea,
Yeah.
is off. Mm-hmm. So like my ideas just come out because like there's no filter because I'm focusing on my filter is focusing on the washing process.
Yeah.
So a lot of times if I like need to write some lyrics, I'll like take a shower or do the dishes or something.
Man, music sounds so good in the shower, you know? It's like
Oh,
it's all
yeah.
in here, and I can hear it, and I can see
Yep.
myself playing it live, and then
Yep.
I'm like trying to explain it to the band, and it's just like, oh, I don't know how to explain that.
Guys,
it sounded really good.
Can you come in the shower with me for a second?
Oh,
I gotta explain something.
I need all four of you in the shower with me now. Can you hear it? Yeah.
They're like, oh my God, yeah, man. Like,
Dude, I have to tell a story of what happened to me last night. We went to the bar, right? Got very drunk. And then our manager drove us home. And I walked outside there. I was like, oh my God, it's snowing. And then I like stepped outside of the van and I fucking slipped and ate shit.
no! Oh my God.
I fell right on my ribs and I was just like, oh. And it was like, damn it. And I was just talking about earlier that day, I haven't fallen in a couple years. When's the last time anyone's taken a tumble? And then last night I did. I ate shit like right in my face. And I got up and I was freezing. I was like, oh. I just went to sleep immediately.
How are you feeling today?
I feel weird.
Bro,
Real weird.
I had a fall of my own the other week. Do you fuck with Krongbin?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were playing in Detroit, or I guess in like Royal Oak or something. And I'm like, I'm there with my buddy. We're like watching the show. I'm like, this is sweet. And then all of a sudden, I'm like getting hot. I was like too hot. I'd worn too many layers. So I like took a few layers off. I'm like, all right, still feeling a little hot. And then I'm like, I just feel weird. Like I gotta go get some water. So I go, we're like kind of at the front. So I start walking back. And as I'm walking, like suddenly the walls are beginning to close in. I'm like, this right here is not good. Oh no. So I go over and like I get like the water and I'm like, I'm just like trying to keep my head up. And I'm like, okay, I need to sit down. I'm looking around. I can't see a chair. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom and I'm going to sit on the toilet and chill. So I'm walking over, can't find the door to the bathroom. So I'm like, okay, I'm just going to lean against this wall. Oh my God. Just face first lean against this wall. And then I woke up and there was a circle of people around me and I was like on the ground. They're like, don't move. I'm like, okay. And they like took me into some room and like gave me a wet towel.
Oh shit.
And I'd fainted.
You just fainted?
I fainted. I'm like,
do you know why or just?
I think I just overheated. I think maybe I was just like a little bit too high and like too hot and dehydrated. Oh yeah. Because once I like came to, I felt completely normal. But I like smashed my face and my ribs, and I was like, it's like a lot of pain for like 2 weeks. I'm like, this fucking sucks. Dude. I straight up just fainted. Like, I've never fainted before.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever fainted in my life. Now I'm gonna fucking faint because I just said that.
Yeah. I don't recommend it. But if you do feel like you're going to faint, my dad said, just get your head lower than the rest of your body.
Oh, that makes so you don't fucking knock yourself.
Yeah, and like something with the blood, I guess. Like you won't faint, you won't pass out if you like can arrange your body in such a way.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, and then I like woke up and like the first thing I saw was like, oh, there's stairs over there. I could have just gone and sat on those.
Just go outside, get some fresh air. Yeah.
But also, like in the recovery room, someone else came in who had passed out and pissed themselves. So I was like, well, at least I didn't piss myself. At least I only passed out.
Yeah, when you look at the alternatives, it's good. Okay,
in the grand scheme of what can happen when you pass out, I guess just falling down is okay.
So girl's like, he fucking pissed himself.
Yeah, and his friends were like,
is that the guy from TikTok? He fucking pissed himself.
Yeah, maybe I could probably turn that into a viral moment.
Oh my God. Yeah, World Star, man.
Yeah,
dude, that's like one of my favorite accounts is World Star. I love Food's Gone Wild.
That's dude, Food's Gone Wild is great.
Do you follow them?
Yeah,
they're the best. I love that shit, especially because being from Southern California, I'm Mexican, and like I knew all those guys.
Yeah,
like I went to junior high and high school with all those guys.
Really?
Based not the Food's Gone Wild guys, but the
just
people,
foos.
the foos. Yeah,
general.
Just like the people they're posting about. Those are the people I like. I was friends with those people.
Yeah,
and it's like I forgot they existed because every foo I knew grew up like and had kids and like grew their hair back. And,
no longer going wild.
They no longer go wild, but it's funny to see them when they go wild. That's my favorite account. What are your favorite? Well, what are you scrolling on when you're mindlessly scrolling on Instagram? What are you looking at?
Let's see. There's this one account called Unexplained that I like. It's kind of there's a lot of just like fucking bizarre shit on there. I mean, I like Trash Can Paul.
Oh yeah.
And Padia's Fantasy World or whatever that one is.
What's that one?
It's like similar kind of just weird memes.
Yeah.
There's this one account, Crime News in the D, that I really like. It's just like Detroit crime, but there's usually like just some ridiculous shit that
Is it true crime? Is it true?
It's real crime. Yeah. It's just like it's just live updates of crime.
The crazy things that happen in Detroit.
Yeah. But sometimes it's just like I mean like a high speed car chase or something. Or just like some ridiculous crime like some of them are just I'm just like, who is doing this? It's just crazy.
Is Detroit the Florida of the North?
Ooh,
I don't know.
Well,
are they stories like that?
There's some
Florida
stories
level?
like that, but I don't think anything is quite Florida level.
Dude, no, Florida's. Have you been to Florida?
I have, yeah.
It's a different world, and I get when I finally went to Florida, I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah,
like this doesn't feel like America. This is like a different part of America.
Yeah,
it takes like 8 hours just to get into like the first city.
Yeah,
like, it takes like 8 hours from like I don't know. I think like Atlanta to Orlando or Tampa.
Yeah,
like so that's a long time before you see like the rest of America. And so it just feels super detached, and I get why it's insane. It's just crazy.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Lawless land.
And like, there's so many like old people there that like, I don't even know how that changes the fabric of a society, but there's that. And then like, I mean, I like, well, every time I go to Florida, I'm like, it's really nice here. Like weather-wise, like it's beautiful. And there's like, I guess like the big cities are cool. You just never know. I haven't been like down into the Panhandle or the Keys or anything like that.
No, I haven't been to Miami or anything. I played a show in Orlando and Tampa once.
Oh, okay,
and then we left. But yeah.
Oh, I did go to Miami actually. Miami was really cool.
Really?
I liked Miami a lot. Yeah.
That's the spot, man.
It was so hot, so sunny.
Really?
Like, oh my, yeah, I burnt the shit out of myself. It was crazy. I was like, I was beet red.
Yeah, man.
But it was worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah, Florida's great. I love the South. I love the Carolinas. Like, I think that's like the best part about being a touring musician and finally getting to do that loop around the United States and like get to see all those places. Like, wow, man.
Yeah.
But then you're happy to go home. You're like, all right, there's nothing better than where I'm from.
Yeah.
Which is you know, nice to say because you know you always wonder like, is life really better out there?
Yeah, man.
It's like, would my life really be different if I moved to New York when I was 18, like I said I was going to, but then didn't?
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's probably for the best I didn't go to New York when I was 18. I would have been fucking eaten alive.
No, straight up. Because, like, yeah, a lot of, like, the people I know that did do that had to come back because they weren't quite ready yet, you know? It's
great. I was like, first time I went to New York, I was 25, and I wasn't ready. I was like, this is too much.
Dude, New York is a madhouse.
Yeah.
I love it. But, like, every time I go, I'm like, okay, like I'm stressed out and it was just the commute. Like I'm not even there yet.
That's why I like a place like Philadelphia. I like a place like Chicago. They're really big towns, but cities. I call everything a fucking town. But it's a really big city, but like it's manageable. It feels good. It feels like welcoming.
Oh yeah. I love Chicago, man. Every time I come here I love it. And I'm like, man, I want to live here.
I know.
It's hard though, because like you know, there's like what I want, and then there's like what is best for my career. You know what I mean? Like I would love to live like I studied abroad in Paris, and I want to go back. I really want to go back and live in Paris or Berlin or London or something like that. But I'm like, can I really put my career on hold? But maybe.
Is there I guess Chicago is probably the magnet city. Like if you're a musician and you're trying to make it in the Midwest, like everyone tells you to like you gotta go to Chicago to do it. Like it was in LA, in California. It's like you have to live in LA. Like everyone's got to live in LA, or you got to move to New York. But is it? I don't know. Do you feel the pressure of you have to move to Chicago, or? Are you...
I mean, it's more like I feel like people will say either LA or New York. They're not really saying Chicago, but I definitely felt that pressure before.
Of moving to LA.
Yeah, LA. Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people in LA. You know, so it does make a lot of sense, but. I mean, like, my dream situation would be to like split time. Yeah. You know, live in LA from like January to April, and then come back for the summer and the rest of the season's here.
Yeah, totally.
But I love LA. I think there's like amazing stuff happening there, and like, there's definitely something to be said for being surrounded by artists that are like I'm sure that would be a motivating force for me, which would be great. But like. You know, my family is in Michigan. Like I've had like the same group of 10 best friends since I was 13. And I'm like, that's not going to be in LA.
That's not going to be,
you know,
that's so really, like, and I always say this, but like, that's the part that I always tell every musician is to have that because like things will take off or, you know, if you're lucky, things will take off for you as a musician, but you have to have that like core group of family and friends because like, that's when shit gets wacky.
Yeah.
And like you're just in LA and you're just like, you know.
Yeah.
It gets all into your head and then you talk to people and no one's relating to you because you're like, oh, I went to this bar and I saw John C. Reilly and everyone's just like, okay, dude, like, what are you talking about now? Like, who are you now? Like, I've seen that a lot. And I became that guy at one point when I was living in LA.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I saw fucking the guitar player from No Doubt was like at my restaurant I work at. And everyone's like, okay.
Yeah.
Like no one cared. Like,
yeah, no, there's something like so grounding just about having people that you know that know you and like I mean like obviously like I'm still chasing the dream and it means a lot to me, but part of me also feels like there's going to be a point in my life where I realize that the stuff that really matters is like the family and friends stuff.
Right.
So like, I don't want to get too far away from that. I don't want to go somewhere looking for something that I've had all along.
Oh shit. Dude.
You know what I mean?
That's it. That's your movie.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's why I'm just making songs about poop and shit on TikTok and living my truth.
That's awesome, man. Are you played by yourself on your? You play with yourself on stage. It's crazy. I like that's rare.
Yep.
But are you gonna get a band? Are you thinking?
Yeah. So I was actually supposed to have a band for this show, but they weren't able to come. But yeah, I'm actually now I have like a 7-piece band that I've been working with. Yeah, like with percussion and backups and all of that, and it's been really fun because I haven't played with a band in like 2 years now, which is crazy because I always used to.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But I think that it was kind of cool because of that, like I've had to rely a lot more on banter and crowd participation, or else people were just going to talk for my whole set, you know? And that has been like a really great learning experience to be like, okay, like how can I try to engage people on every single song, you know? And I think
I noticed that.
Thanks.
I really noticed. I was like, oh wow, he's doing a really good job of just like keeping everyone like locked into him.
Yeah. Like I don't know. There's like a million different ways to do it, but you really have to kind of trick people into paying attention now.
Yeah.
And once they do, they're having a great time. And I think they have more fun when they can participate. And so that's been great. But like, I feel like if you have a live band, somehow like you can transcend all of that because there's just so much happening that people's attention is always going to be on you.
Yes.
You know, you can't really get distracted as easily.
And you can't hear them talking.
Right, exactly.
Because you're so loud.
Right.
That you can't hear anyone talking over you.
Yeah. So I want to find a way to fuse the two. Like I still want to keep a lot of that, like kind of the tone of my solo performance, but just with a live band. I think that could be really, really fun.
That could be very powerful.
Powerful indeed. You know what I really want to get is some sort of visual aid, like a PowerPoint or something.
Yeah.
If I had a PowerPoint and a clicker and a laser pointer, whew.
It would help people when they try to sing along to the lyrics. Oh, we know the lyrics are up there.
Yeah, get the little Mickey Mouse bouncing.
That's always something I'm like, oh yeah. I need to get visuals, man. It's all about the visuals. But then we never do it. Like,
dude, yeah. When are we gonna find time to like do visuals?
Or organize all that and set it up like after sound check? Okay, now we have to set up the visuals. It's like
that sounds like the last thing I want to deal with.
That was again another job. That was somebody else's job. Like yeah. I don't know, but it's cool. I'm glad that you played. I was stoked to see you on the bill. I was like, oh good, because sometimes you play shows and you're just like, who the fuck are all these bands? All right, like we'll go see if they're any good. But like, you know, Blessing was really good. You were really good. I was like, this is a really eclectic and cool, but all kind of worked for some reason.
Yeah.
You know, Blessing was like this rap, but they had a full band. It was just cool.
Yeah. I heard that they're on Secretly or
they are.
Yeah, like, and which kind of makes sense. It was like because there were moments where I was like, oh, this reminds me kind of like Bon Iver or something like that. Like it was like a big sound, you know, and like but there was also like a lot of beautiful melodies happening, but it was also rap, and it was very interesting. Very eclectic was a good word. Yeah.
Very eclectic, very cool. And I got to talk to them after the set, and I was like, damn. And they're cool people too.
Super cool.
Super cool.
They were talking about, you know, I've heard a lot of people talk about Indianapolis. That there's a cool music scene there.
Yeah.
Which is like, I never would have thought Indianapolis, but like, I'm going to have to check it out because like 3 separate people have
Is that close to Detroit? I feel like that's all like in this area. How far is...
It's like 3 hours southeast of here, I think.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's like probably about the same from Detroit. It's like probably about like halfway. But it's like south Pence country. But you could feasibly like do Indianapolis and then Bloomington.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
because
like
Bloomington
the run.
is sick.
Yeah, I've heard Bloomington's awesome.
My brother went to college there.
Really?
And like,
that's like where Secretly is.
Yeah. And like, man, it's just like every time I'd go visit him, every party we went to, there was always multiple bands playing in the basement. It was just like a staple of student life there, which is so cool.
That's cool. Yeah, those great little college towns are awesome. We're playing Lawrence, Kansas on Tuesday, and apparently it's like that too. I played there once, but I don't really remember it. But apparently it's like a big college town. So
that's sweet. Yeah, Lawrence, Kansas. Like I'll randomly see like Spotify numbers coming in from. I'm like, where the fuck is Lawrence? Like,
yeah, no, it's
who are
like
these people?
there's a college there, so there are
Okay.
people who like, because you think Kansas, you think fucking Wizard of Oz, you think like, and it is
Yeah.
kind of like that, but like Lawrence is very cool. There's a lot of young people. It's developed. It's like not just flat lands. Like,
Yeah.
but driving into Lawrence, it's like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, man, anywhere there's people, there's cool shit happening.
Oh, for
And
sure.
That's just the way it is.
For sure. It's like a revolving door. That's the thing with college towns. Like you think like, yeah, we'll play a great show with this college town. We'll come back and do another one. And it's like, there's
Yeah.
new kids now, man. They
Yeah.
fucking graduated or, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Like that's, when I started this band in 2010, we only played like colleges. And like we played at UCSB in Isla Vista, and we would play like every night. And it's pretty wild when anyone comes up to a show. It's like, hey, man, I used to watch you in IV. I was like, oh, shit, we're old now. And they're just like, yeah, we're old now. I'm like, okay.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But it's cool. That's fun. It was just like, playing in front of freshmen at the time. Now freshmen are almost in their 30s. Like,
It's crazy. I mean, it's funny because like I'm always thinking about like how old I am in relation to the people
Yeah.
that I'm playing for. But when I was like, never ever as a listener, I'm like, okay, how old is this person?
Yeah,
you know,
I
like
never-
it doesn't matter. Like most of my favorite musicians are probably in their 30s and 40s.
yeah.
You know, and I don't even think about it. You know, I feel like youth is like, it feels like such an important thing. You know, like because there's like I feel like a lot of artists that blow up are young.
yeah, right.
And you're like, I want like that. That's the only
wanna go
way.
viral.
Like, yeah,
Like,
but
yeah.
nobody really cares.
That shit doesn't last either.
Yeah.
Like the most, like, Wilco was the first band for me that like opened my eyes to that stuff. Because when I first got into them, I was like, oh, they're like old. They're
Yeah.
like older. They're like parents.
Yeah.
A literal dad rock at this
Yeah.
point. And like, I realized that that's fine. I like was able to wrap my head around. This was now I was in high school, and I like was able to wrap my head around it. I was like, well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
And maybe that stuff doesn't matter. And then they like clicked. I was like, oh, dude, fuck that. Like,
Yeah.
you should listen to anything. If you like it, you like it.
Yeah, yeah,
And then that's when I got rid of guilty pleasures. I was like, dude, fuck guilty pleasures. I just like it.
yeah.
I like Sex and the City.
Yeah.
I love that show.
There's nothing guilty about a little pleasure.
I know. And that's, I think Wilco and Sex and
I
the
also
City.
love
were
Sex
the-
and the City.
Dude, have you
Yeah.
been watching and like that and just like that or wherever the new one is? The reboot?
Is it good?
It's all right.
Yeah.
People like it. I don't love it.
Have you watched Emily in Paris?
No, I heard you talking about that you watched it in 2 days.
Yeah, sad. Yeah.
Is it good?
It's good. It's by the same person that did Sex and the City.
Mm.
I mean, it's like the same. It's like the same kind of like very like.
Darren Star?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah. It's like the same kind of like vapid, like, light drama
Yeah.
that where like there are no real consequences.
Oh, yeah,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
A lot of like, fucking drama and sex and all of that. And it's like, it just is fun. And it's in Paris.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And like the French people are really funny and French and whatnot.
That's
It's
awesome.
great.
man.
I highly recommend it
How-
if you
how-
like Sex in the City.
I do. How long were you living in France?
I was there for 4 months and then 1 month just traveled around Europe.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. And that was how old are you when you did that?
I was 20 and I turned 21 in Paris.
Oh, that's cool.
Which was kind of anticlimactic because the drinking age there is 18,
Oh
but it was still sweet.
That's
I
awesome.
still got hammered.
And ate a baguette. Mm-hmm. That's crazy. Is it, how do you feel like that shaped you? Do you feel like that's like helped? Was that like a really big growing experience for you?
I think in a lot of ways it was because like, I mean, like college, you kind of grow up a
Grow
bit,
a lot, yeah.
but just being like so far away from home and
Yeah.
really being like on my own and having to speak a foreign language
Right.
and like be responsible for myself, that was definitely a growing experience. And then also like, I feel like I was in Paris when those terrorist attacks
Oh,
happened.
that's right.
So like kind of being witness to that and like being witness to like how people responded to that
and
in
how
France.
real it is, yeah.
It's so real. And like the French people, I feel like they always kind of get typed as being like, waving the white flag. But I feel like people forget that like they had to be occupied by a foreign army like twice in the past century. And they have so much strength and like kind of fortitude because of that. And it was really inspirational. Like people refuse to like stay in and be scared. Like they went out to the bars. They like were out in record numbers, kind of in defiance. And I was like, for me, like, because I was pretty scared, and like being a part of that, and like kind of, I felt like, okay, like, I don't know, in a way it felt like standing for something.
Yeah.
And then I feel like, yeah, just like coming through that, not that I did anything remarkable, but like coming back home after living through that and like living abroad, doing all of that, I was like, you know what? I feel like I can wipe my own butt now. So it was a learning experience, a growing experience.
There was that feeling after 9/11 too, that like, you know, if we stop living our normal life, then you know, the terrorists win. You heard that all the time. Like, the terrorists win if we don't go back to normal life. And I do remember that time too, where it's like we have to continue to live.
Yeah, man. So. It was nice. I feel like it's so much easier to come together when there's a common enemy.
Right.
Now, with all our problems, they're so existential that if you really think about it, like the only real enemy is like our own division and inability to come together. So like, how do you beat a problem like that? Man,
I thought there was a moment where COVID kind of brought. I felt like in that when it was all agreed upon, we're gonna lock down for like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that was kind of like, oh yeah, we're all in this together. Yeah, fucking Gal Gadot did that video.
Yeah,
like that kind of ruined. I think that ruined it. I think
it all came back to Gal Gadot.
We all came together to hate that video, and then but like then it went away, and then we're like, okay, now what's happened? Now it's a month. Now it's like 3 years. But yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like we're living in a transitional period in a lot of ways, like because I don't know, maybe in 20, 30 years when we're the old people,
right?
Maybe by then we'll have some more consensus.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I always think about like when people get old, that's when they get out of touch. I'm like, what is my out of touch thing going to be? I feel like my daughter's going to want to take like an AI to prom, and I'm going to call him a robot, and it's going to be like an R slur.
You can't call him a robot.
You can't call him a robot. Get this bag of bolts out of my living room.
Oh my God.
And it's just going to be a disaster. So
I hear that now, dude. Like when doing this podcast, I ask every musician, hey, are you on TikTok? And they're just like, I don't know. I think I'm like too old for that app. I was like, dude, you're in your 20s.
Yeah.
Get the fuck on that app. Like it's organic reach like you wish you had on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like people are seeing your stuff that shouldn't see your stuff, but they see your stuff. Like, and they're just like, yeah, I don't know. It's like, and then, you know, also it's like that like manipulative TikTok music promotion. Hey guys, the label told me I fucking suck.
Yeah.
Blow this shit up and show them that I rock.
Yeah.
And like, I think that has also like, people think, oh, that's how you promote music on TikTok.
No.
Which is like the worst way to promote music on TikTok.
Yeah, man. Like, I'm just like, I mean, like, and I get it's hard, but like, I'm like, man, like, think about if you were scrolling on TikTok, what would you want to see?
Right.
I don't want to see like someone just like pointing at the letters on the screen with their song playing. Yeah. Like, no hate, but like, that's, no one's going to share that with their friend unless it's like, unless they do, I guess.
Unless they like the song.
Right. Wait, and that's the thing, like, that does blow up for some people.
Yeah.
But it's not a winning strategy.
Yeah.
You really just have to, I don't know. It's just like marketing anything. It's just, you got to be creative. Like, you got to think outside the box. And I think most of all, you just got to get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like with everything else. Like, I think the thing that really scares people about TikTok, because it's what scares me about TikTok, is the fear of like visibly failing, you know? Being like, I just made this video and it got 250 views and I worked hard on it. And like, I feel like a failure because clearly this is telling me that I am. Yeah. But like, number one, that's not true. And number two, like, if you post some like dumb shit and it's bad, nobody's going to see it because
the algorithm won't pick it up.
They won't pick it up. So like, no one's even going to know. So it's not even a big deal. Like, no one will know. Yeah. Like, I wish that life was like that. Like, if I did something stupid, no one would know about it. But if I did something great, everyone would know about it.
Yeah, totally. Like, when you first on that, you have a few videos with like 1 million views. What was that day like when you posted it and then you like look at your notifications? You're like, what happened?
Yeah, I was like, well,
what'd I do?
Like, yeah, I mean, I was usually like, I mean, when that happens, I'm just like, oh shit.
Like, yeah.
But it's like, it's sad, but immediately my thought is like, well, now what? Like, how am I ever going to do that again? Like, what happened there? Like, I'm already thinking,
How do I
about the next thing.
maintain, like, how does the next one get $1 million?
And that's like what I feel like gets so, like, you're always looking over the next hill, no matter what, if it's TikTok or playing a show. Like, I would like, like I would love to play at fucking Red Rocks, but I think if I did, I'd be like, well, when am I going to play at MSG? You know what I mean? Like,
there's always the next one.
Yeah. So like, yeah, I mean, 1 million views on TikTok is great.
Right.
But it's like not,
It's just,
it doesn't like, it doesn't make you feel any different than anything else does.
So what you're saying is you need to do the inner work.
Inner work. That's what it comes down to, man.
Success on social media is not going to change your life.
No. And it's not going to, I mean, thus far it hasn't drastically changed my career.
Right.
Like it's the cool thing about it is that it's the cool thing now.
Totally.
Like that's the cool thing is everyone's like, oh, like TikTok, that's, that's cool. But like, I know friends of mine that like really aren't popping on TikTok, but like they will sell out shows,
right?
So like you don't need one. Like I feel like if you're a musician and you don't want to do TikTok, you really don't want to do it. It makes you uncomfortable. Like it's not the end of your career.
Right.
You don't have to. Like everybody's got their own thing they can do, and like there's plenty of people that aren't on TikTok and that I don't know, but it's fun.
I think it's one of the best apps if you're like trying to do this thing.
Yeah.
Just put it out there, put your music out there. Something could happen, something could not happen, but like you have to give yourself a fucking chance. Like,
yeah.
You have to at least give yourself a chance.
Yeah. There's not really anything bad that could come from it.
Yeah.
Like worst case scenario, you're where you were.
You start scrolling for 3 hours and you're like, where the fuck am I?
Yeah.
Like, how'd I get on pimple popping videos?
Oh, dude.
That's what my FYP looks like right now.
Really?
Yeah. Pimple popping videos.
I watch so many pimple popping videos.
I love it, dude.
Dr. Pimple Popper.
Oh, I love Dr. Yeah. I like when they're all big cysts and then.
Oh, yeah, dude. I literally I'll watch them and I'll feel like I'll get like a little bit queasy and I'll be like, okay, like that.
Yes. Also, a lot of my
chase that high.
A lot of my FYP is cringe talk.
Cringe talk.
I love the cringiest shit, dude. Like when it's just like a, conventionally unattractive person like in front of the camera just doing something weird. I'm like, this is sick. I love this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I love to scratch that itch, man. Something about it.
Oh, I love it, man. All right, man. We can wrap it up.
Hell yeah, bro.
We've been talking for a little while.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me, man. This was dope.
Thanks so much for coming on, man. Is there anything you want to promote? Show? When's the next show?
Next show is it's February 12th in Grand Rapids.
Okay.
And then I'm putting out a song I think a few days before that.
Okay.
On all streaming platforms. It's a little cover of Can't Take My Eyes Off of You.
Yes.
Yeah. With my friend Caleb Hawley from New York City. That'd be sweet.
Oh, hell yeah. Sweet, man. We're looking forward to it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Dude, sick.